Anna's confession failed because her childhood friend fell for her best friend. Feeling defeated, she picked up the drink he had just had and sipped it frantically as soon as he left. Nukumizu, a classmate who witnessed everything, could hardly bear to watch. They accidentally made eye contact. Nukumizu wanted to pretend he saw nothing, but Anna approached him and started sharing her story. She revealed the boy was her childhood friend, who once promised to marry her, and she began to cry. Seeing her so upset, Nukumizu ordered her a rose-hip tea for beauty benefits. Anna joked that no one would notice her beauty anyway. When a large portion of fries arrived, her mood lifted, and she began recounting the trio's story. She had been close to her childhood friend for 12 years, only to be surpassed by a friend who had joined them a few months ago. Although they never dated, Anna felt betrayed. Listening, Nukumizu was speechless, especially when Anna nicknamed her friend Cowgirl and admitted she regretted not confessing her feelings earlier. She then grabbed the last fry, leaving none for Nukumizu. The next day, Nukumizu drank water from a faucet far from the classroom, preferring its taste and the distance. He was surprised to find someone still in his seat despite the late hour. He pretended to check the notice board, but noticed Anna and her friend Karen nearby. Karen, unaware of Anna's resentment, was affectionate, which only angered Anna more. Nukumizu approached and told Anna the teacher needed her help, giving her a chance to leave. Instead of comforting her, he reminded her that she still owed him for the fries. Anna and he had agreed to meet at the evacuation staircase during lunch break. Nukumizu listened to Anna's endless complaints there and wondered if they were really best friends. Unexpectedly, they encountered a clumsy teacher who fell flat, and they helped pick up the documents. By noon, Nukumizu and Anna reached the old building's evacuation stairs. Anna looked half dead as she mentioned that Karen invited her to sing karaoke after school as a trio, something she didn't want to endure, especially not their duets as a couple. Meanwhile, Nukumizu kept reminding Anna about the money she owed him. Anna, however, started talking about her childhood friend. Worried he and Karen had already crossed some lines, Nukumizu was still focused on getting his money back and even showed her the receipt from that day. Shocked by the price, Anna asked if she could repay him in another way, then turned around shyly, suggesting something she used to do that her childhood friend enjoyed. Surprised, Nukumizu thought she might offer something more personal, but Anna just wanted to make him lunch. Reluctantly, he agreed, and they decided to meet at the stairs for lunch every day. Back at his seat, Nukumizu was approached by a girl from another class. She introduced herself as Chica from the literary club, looking shy enough to be confessing, but she just wanted to discuss club activities. Since joining the literary club, Nukumizu hadn't participated in any activities. Now, the student council demanded no ghost members in clubs, so he had to start attending. The vice president, Tsukinoki, a senior, warned him not to touch the Dazai and Mishima books on the shelf and mentioned that their club was under scrutiny by the student council. After ensuring Nukumizu would visit more often, Tsukinoki left. Told not to touch, Nukumizu was naturally compelled to pull out a book, only to find it was a boys' love manga. Apart from yaoi comics, there were many popular series Nukumizu hadn't read. With Anna bringing him lunch, he could save on meal expenses and buy some books he wanted to read. While Nukumizu was deciding which book to buy, his sister came over to give him advice. She immediately asked if he had made any close friends at school and offered to make anime-themed lunchboxes to help him start conversations if he hadn't. Nukumizu told her that someone was already preparing his lunches, which shocked her as she thought he was secretly dating. She couldn't believe her brother, who had no friends, could have a girlfriend. She was relieved to learn that the lunches were paid for. The next day at noon, Nukumizu went to the evacuation stairs as planned. To his surprise, Anna hadn't prepared a proper lunchbox. Instead, she used a folded newspaper box with just a convenience store sandwich inside. Anna then added a piece of chicken from her own lunch in an attempt to make the 268 yen sandwich seem worth 1,000 yen. She then started talking about her own issues. Since her childhood friend got together with her best friend, she often received pitiful looks from classmates who thought she was dumped. Nukumizu was pondering how to comfort her when Anna stuffed a piece of omelet into his mouth, raising the lunch's value to 350 yen. After school, another classmate, Mitsuki, asked Nukumizu if he could borrow books from the literary club. Nukumizu said he would ask the senior first. As Mitsuki was leaving, his childhood friend Ramon invited him to grab some food, but Mitsuki had to go to a tutoring class. As he talked, another girl called him away. Once they left, Ramon immediately asked Nukumizu who the girl was. Learning she was Chihaya from Mitsuki's tutoring class, Ramon felt threatened. Anna, sensing a kindred spirit, came over to inquire and immediately took Ramon's side. In her view, girls were either childhood friends or sneaky cats. Ramon asked Anna what she thought of Mitsuki and Chihaya's relationship, and Anna confidently assured her they were just friends. It was noon again, and Anna looked half dead. She didn't want to go study at Karen's house, but if she didn't, Karen and her childhood friend would be alone together. Nukumizu didn't care about that. He just wanted to know what was in his lunch. Surprisingly, Anna handed him the lid of a lunchbox and then slammed it down on a box full of rice. She explained that she could only use one box, so she tried to stuff 2 servings into it. Despite her explanation, it was all rice, topped with just 2 slices of lemon. Still, Nukumizu was willing to value it at 400 yen. The next day at noon, Nukumizu didn't see Anna at the stairs, just her bag and a red scarf. He picked up the scarf and went upstairs, finding Anna at the edge of the rooftop. When she turned to greet him with a smile, Nukumizu couldn't help but approach. Anna excitedly pointed out that from here, they could overlook the entire playground and see Ramon sprinting. Ramon had won a championship at the county sports meet. As Anna marveled at Ramon's talent, tears spilled from her eyes, carried away by the wind. It was then that she truly realized she'd been dumped. But what of it? The world wouldn't stop for her feelings. Anna forced herself to look ahead. Nukumizu admitted he had never been dumped and didn't know the feeling. As they shared a smile, Nukumizu recalled a rumor that 70% of high school couples break up within a year, and almost all part ways after graduation. He told himself not to expect much from such fleeting relationships. Yet sometimes he couldn't help but wonder what it would be like to have such a youthful experience, to be the protagonist in a light novel, facing a tearful heroine. What would he think then? After Anna's story ended, it was Ramon's turn to take the stage. Having just finished running, Ramon took a sip of water just as her childhood friend Mitsuki passed by without even glancing at her. Meanwhile, Nukumizu was busy organizing sports equipment in the storage room, sweating profusely. Suddenly, Ramon burst in, eager to speak with him. It seemed almost like a confession, but Nukumizu, aware of his own situation, correctly guessed that Ramon wanted to ask about Mitsuki and whether he had borrowed a book from the literary club. If not, she offered to get the book for him. The astute Nukumizu immediately offered to help by arranging for Mitsuki to pick up the book on a day when Ramon didn't have club training, claiming that Ramon was just visiting the literary club. Impressed, Ramon called him a genius. Just as she was about to leave, an incident in the sports storage truly unfolded. The door locked behind them, and no one outside could hear their calls for help. On this hot summer day with temperatures reaching 35 degrees Celsius, being trapped could lead to heat stroke. Sure enough, Ramon began to show signs of delirium, speaking nonsense. Nukumizu quickly found a cooling spray in the storage, but to his surprise, Ramon lifted her shirt and asked him to spray her. Reluctantly, Nukumizu sprayed her, and when Ramon turned around requesting the front to be sprayed as well, thankfully she was wearing a sports bra. Nukumizu continued spraying until Ramon, overwhelmed by the coolness, fainted and fell into his arms, her face flushed. Nukumizu barely kept his composure, instinctively aiming the spray at Ramon's face. Still not fully conscious, Ramon tried to remove her sports bra, causing Nukumizu to quickly cover his eyes, mistaking him for a girl in her confused state. She then threw her sports bra away and grabbed Nukumizu's leftover mineral water. Nukumizu hurriedly took it back, but accidentally saw Ramon's bare upper body. They both fell, and just then, noises came from outside. Nukumizu quickly called for help. When the teacher opened the door, they saw a half-naked girl lying on a boy and promptly closed the door, but they still took Nukumizu and Ramon to the infirmary. The health teacher arranged for Nukumizu and Ramon to rest on the bed. Unexpectedly, Anna also came to visit. She brought him a lunchbox. Sensing the situation, the health teacher left and reminded them that they could use the room, which could be locked. Nukumizu and Anna did not explain much. Today's lunchbox from Anna contained omelet rice, which looked quite appealing. They shared it equally. Nukumizu still decided to pay her 400 yen. Then, Anna poured a creamy white sauce over the omelet rice, changing its texture. It turned out to be a special sauce from the Imperial Hotel, a family treasure. With this sauce, 400 yen seemed too little. Nukumizu tearfully added another 200 yen. The commotion attracted Ramon, who had recovered and forgotten the incident in the sports storage. Nukumizu, of course, did not tell her the truth. When Ramon noticed their omelet rice, Anna enthusiastically fed her a spoonful. Ramon was impressed by the taste. Nukumizu only cared that his 600 yen omelet rice was now 1 spoon less. Just then, Mitsuki came with gifts, specifically to see Ramon. Seeing Ramon so lively, she joked that she probably didn't need them. Ramon quickly said she felt too sick to eat, but Mitsuki pointed out rice stuck on her cheek, saying, "You can't eat with your cheek." Ramon was immediately embarrassed. Anna thought this child had potential. Then Chihaya came over, inviting Mitsuki to the study room after school. Mitsuki declined, saying she needed to go home early. They agreed to contact each other in the evening and then left. Ramon watched their interaction with mixed feelings. After school, Nukumizu went to the literary club to ask if Mitsuki could borrow a book. He obtained the senior's permission, who had to help Shintaro with his duties. Nukumizu thought Shintaro was her boyfriend, but Chica immediately clarified he was just a childhood friend. Then Nukumizu waited for the bus to go home. Suddenly, a small hand grabbed his. It was his sister, immediately asking if he had made any friends at school besides teachers and how many people he had spoken to today. Nukumizu counted 5. His sister was shocked, sure he was lying, and comforted him that not having friends was nothing to be ashamed of, advising him not to make up stories. The next day, Ramon came to Nukumizu early in the morning, saying she remembered what happened yesterday at the sports storage. Nukumizu quickly emphasized that he saw nothing, but Ramon was actually recalling going to the literary club with Mitsuki. Relieved, Nukumizu mentioned this to Anna at lunch. Anna decided to go with Ramon to support her. Today saw the largest gathering at the literary club, headed by the president, Shintaro. Thinking there was a new member, Shintaro prepared a small floral crown for celebration. However, Anna said she was just visiting and put the crown back, mentioning she had to attend a dorm leaders meeting. At that moment, Chica came in, nervously stating she had finished the sci-fi novel she borrowed a while ago. Shintaro ruffled Chica's hair, which she enjoyed, until Tsukinoki, an older student, removed Shintaro's hand, advising Chica she could refuse if she disliked it. After the senior left, Chica looked smitten, pleased by the president's compliment. Anna, initially just watching for fun, started calling Chica a siren upon learning Tsukinoki and the president were childhood friends. Then Mitsuki and Ramon arrived, and Tsukinoki took the chance to urge Mitsuki to join the literary club, asking if his girlfriend Ramon was interested. Ramon didn't deny the girlfriend label, but she was already part of the athletics club. Tsukinoki suggested that joining both could allow more time with her boyfriend. Ramon looked at Mitsuki expectantly, but Mitsuki denied they were a couple, stating he wasn't worthy of Ramon. Then, intending to borrow a book, Mitsuki's denial led Ramon to loudly proclaim she didn't have a boyfriend, and while popular, she wasn't easy. Regretting her outburst, the atmosphere turned awkward. Tsukinoki, amused, joined in, having figured out their relationship. That's when Mitsuki revealed he already had a girlfriend, shocking everyone present. Unsurprisingly, his girlfriend was Chihaya. Witnessing another dramatic scene, Nukumizu didn't know what to say. Feeling confused, Ramon didn't want to leave with Mitsuki and used the excuse of deciding to join the literary club. She stayed to fill out the membership form, and Anna crowned her with the welcome floral crown, taking her to the same store where Anna had been previously dumped. Nukumizu reminded Anna to pay for herself this time. After they ate and drank, Nukumizu went to pay the bill. Opening her wallet, Anna found it empty again, increasing her debt from previous unpaid meals. On the other side, the school nurse was writing down several students' names in a notebook, connecting them with arrows to guess their relationships. At the same time, voices could be heard, conversations from the health room. It turned out the teacher had installed listening devices there just to keep up with the students' gossip. Now she was even considering installing another device in the study room. After buying a drink and wandering around the school, she saw Ramon still running and offered to walk her home. Ramon said she wanted to run another lap, sounding like she had just had a heartbreak. So, the teacher went back and drew a big heart between Nukumizu and Ramon's names. Nukumizu, it seems, is the man at the center of it all. Nukumizu, who loves drinking from the school's water fountains, surprisingly found a like-minded person in Chica. Both unable to stay in the classroom, they frequented such places. When confronted, Chica defiantly claimed she was seriously studying the sinks while drinking. You think Nukumizu isn't? Nukumizu believes the best water is next to the second-floor classroom in the West Building in the morning, as it's left over from the previous day with less chlorine and not yet warm. Chica mocked him, preferring the noon water when the temperature and chlorine content are higher, which she believes is easier on the stomach and helps get used to the chlorine smell. Shocked, Nukumizu realized she even eats in the bathroom. Just then, the club president passed by and called them for a meeting after school in the literature club, noticing Chica's admiring glance as he left. Only Nukumizu, Chica, and Senior Tsukunoki attended the meeting. The literature club had been criticized by the student council for not producing any written work, despite its supposed focus. The president suggested online submissions to save on printing and promotion costs, and announced a weekend retreat. However, Nukumizu and Chica, preferring to stay indoors on weekends, were reluctant until Senior Tsukunoki tempted them with the experience of a seclusion session like legendary writers. Excited, Chica agreed. They were to prepare their outlines before the weekend. Tsukunoki decided on a story about reincarnation into another world, starting with Mishima's ritual suicide, followed by Dazai's suicide into the Tamagawa aqueduct. She revealed she wrote the controversial "No Longer Allowed in Another World," even planning an adult-themed story. Suddenly, an odd student, Shikia from the student council, squeezed through the door crack. He ominously reminded them to submit a formal request for the retreat, constantly monitoring them like a whispering demon. Chica, frightened, hid under the table, and Shikia turned his attention to Nukumizu, hinting at the student council's vigilant watch. At noon, Nukumizu told Anna about the event. After checking, Anna found that there was a beach nearby and started fretting over whether her swimsuit from last year still fit. Nukumizu asked if she wanted to come along, but Anna changed the subject, mentioning she had met her childhood friend's mom the day before. The mom thought they were fighting, which is why Anna had recently stopped visiting their house. Anna's mom thought the same, and both parents planned a barbecue over the weekend to help them reconcile. Anna really didn't want to go and begged Nukumizu to take her to the beach retreat, even if it meant joining the literature club right there and then. So, Anna actually joined. Nukumizu couldn't help but worry if she could write fiction at all. Then, thinking he was also writing for the first time, he went to a bookstore for references and unexpectedly met Chica. Chica had already started writing, but that didn't matter to her. She was more concerned that the cute Anna was joining the literature club. She noted that even the recently joined Ramon was cute. Nukumizu reassured her that she was cute too, which led Chica to comment that the literature club wasn't the type of club cute girls would join. Wait, I owe an apology to all the cute girls in literature clubs across the country, he thought. After finishing his book search, Nukumizu met his sister on the way home. She was going out over the weekend and worried he would be lonely at home alone. Nukumizu told her he would also be attending the club retreat and staying out overnight, which made his sister immediately want to buy red bean rice to celebrate her brother finally making his first good friend. When the weekend arrived, all members of the literature club gathered. The president was eager to see the girls in their swimsuits, which were as revealing as a lingerie. It was okay for him to stare intently. With a bit of persuasion, he got Nukumizu excited too. When the girls came out, Nukumizu indeed couldn't take his eyes off Anna. Chica couldn't help but criticize his lecherous behavior. Then, Senior Tsukunoki called everyone into the water, but Nukumizu and Chica stayed on the shore. Nukumizu lay on a beach chair, peacefully watching the beautiful girls in swimsuits parading in front of him. Meanwhile, Anna had already started eating, and while doing so, she asked others what they were having for lunch. Ramon volunteered to go buy food for everyone. Nukumizu also went along. He was concerned about Ramon's mood, which seemed okay, except when Mitsuki was mentioned. She still felt sad, having grown up with him and never been his romantic choice. Perhaps Mitsuki never saw Ramon as a girl. Unsure how to comfort her, Nukumizu encouraged Ramon to enjoy herself fully today. She responded by pulling Nukumizu into a playful run and accidentally knocking him down into the sand, which made her laugh. She reached out her hand to help him up, but he didn't realize she sometimes wanted to act playfully too. They ate the food Anna brought back, which was delicious. Meanwhile, Chica wasn't eating but asking the club president to review her novel. He gave honest feedback and suggested adding subtitles like, "I didn't know this was a nude beach," or, "Do you really earn more points the more you strip?" Tsukunoki couldn't stand the president's comments and threw a water bottle at him. Nukumizu watched the commotion silently. Nearby, Ramon noticed another activity happening. The president then showed Nukumizu Chica's novel, revealing he had serialized it online 3 years ago. Nukumizu recognized it as the isekai story he followed. Remon returned with fireworks as a prize. Noticing Chica hadn't swum yet and the day was ending, she threw Chica into the sea. In the evening, everyone barbecued in the woods. They ate the meat before it was fully cooked. Nukumizu was about to do the same when Anna stopped him, pointing out the meat was just put on the grill. Now everyone knew Nukumizu was a food lover. However, the senior gave him a serving of red bean rice, mentioning a cute middle school girl had given it to her. Nukumizu wondered if his sister had come to check on him. After the barbecue ended, the girls eagerly started setting off fireworks. Meanwhile, Nukumizu grilled a new piece of meat and even named it. At that moment, the senior ran to find the club president to join her in setting off fireworks, as they seemed a perfect match. Nukumizu couldn't help but think to himself, just go get married already. Distracted by the couple, Anna managed to snatch his meat. Seeing his reaction, Anna fed him the meat herself. However, she wasn't just being kind. After he finished, she jokingly asked how much he would pay. Suddenly, Nukumizu noticed Chica inadvertently igniting a firework too close to her face. Fortunately, the president quickly knocked it away, saving Chica's face from injury. Chica felt a bit sad, thinking no one cared about her face. The president crouched down to comfort her, saying, "You see your face every day in the mirror, and it makes you unhappy, right?" He didn't want Chica to feel sad every day. His kindness touched Chica, giving her the courage to finally say, "I like you." Just then, Remon lit a new firework. The president watched as Chica, in tears, confessed her feelings and asked him to date her. However, the title of this episode is Lost Before It Even Started. At the training camp, Chica passionately confessed to the club president, shocking everyone. The president said he needed time to think, causing Chica to glance at Tsukinoki, who was nearby, before fleeing the scene. Tsukinoki asked the president why he didn't just reject her. He responded that it was a matter between him and Chica and not her place to decide. Upset, Tsukinoki slapped him. Anna and Remon pretended to play with a cannon while Nukumizu stood there, stunned. Unexpectedly, Nukumizu encountered the president in the restroom after running off. With both girls he liked having left, the president was unsure whom to follow, and even asked Nukumizu for advice, despite him being inexperienced. It turned out that the president had confessed to Tsukinoki the previous year and was rejected. However, Tsukinoki's recent reaction didn't seem indifferent towards him. Nukumizu thought there might be a misunderstanding. Just then, Anna came running to tell them that Tsukinoki was packing to leave. The president hurried after her, thinking she had rejected him last Christmas. Tsukinoki was confused because she didn't remember any confession. The president had actually said, "If you get so old that no one wants you, I could settle for being with you." Nukumizu and Anna, who were eavesdropping, remarked that he deserved the slap for such a confession. Tsukinoki then threw herself into the president's arms, saying she had been waiting for him, and they embraced tightly. It seemed the outcome was decided. Nukumizu then dragged Anna away, leaving the couple alone, only to realize he was holding her hand, which made him blush. Anna teased him, suggesting he could confess to her, although she would definitely reject him. Later, they ran into Remon, who was out looking for beetles at night. Remon entrusted Nukumizu with a large beetle to give to Chica, hoping it would cheer her up. Although the president ultimately rejected Chica, she took solace in the fact that he had seriously considered a relationship with her, even if just for a moment, feeling she had momentarily outdone Tsukinoki. However, Chica ended up crying. Nukumizu went back to the inn, advising Chica to take some time to calm down. The next day, everyone submitted their own novels. Chica seemed to have composed herself and asked the senior to help her submit her work. She then approached Tsukinoki and asked her to read her novel, hoping she would come to the literature club room the next day, as her absence would make Chica feel lonely. Chica's words broke the barriers between the three of them. Tsukinoki cried uncontrollably, and Chica clumsily hugged her, affirming that their rivalry was insignificant compared to their friendship. They were more than just friends. They were wonderful girls. Nukumizu was very pleased with this resolution. Back at school, Remon submitted the original drafts for the literature department. Unable to write novels, she doodled instead, depicting their joyful gathering at the beach. While showing Remon his novel on his phone, Nukumizu accidentally made eye contact with Anna but ignored her greeting. He overheard other girls gossiping about him and Anna, ridiculing Anna's taste, which made Nukumizu avoid her even more. During lunch with Anna, he used a sandwich to settle all his debts, explaining that holding something over Anna felt wrong and seemed like he was distancing himself from her. Initially, Anna brought him lunch because she was short on pocket money, but she enjoyed their time together and didn't want it to end abruptly. Nukumizu mentioned the gossip to Anna, expressing his dislike for it, and Anna left with a simple, "Got it." In the following days, Nukumizu felt down, but couldn't help looking at Anna. Ramon, believing she understood his feelings, advised him to communicate clearly with her. After school, Nukumizu went to the literature department and unexpectedly encountered Anna. He confessed that he had been looking forward to her lunches and had enjoyed their time together. Anna remained aloof, and afterwards, Nukumizu had to eat lunch alone. Even Chica heard he was dumped by Anna and came to comfort him. Nukumizu was sure he had no romantic feelings for Anna, and she felt the same. Yet, he wondered why others assumed their relationship was romantic. That day, even Anna's childhood friend sought out Nukumizu, wanting a chat. Nukumizu thought he was there to confront him and immediately handed over his wallet. The childhood friend quickly explained that he had heard about Anna and Nukumizu getting along well and often flirting at school. He was happy that Anna liked someone and entrusted his old friend to Nukumizu. Nukumizu was speechless. It was obvious he knew Anna liked him. Why then would he say such things? Nukumizu told the childhood friend that Anna still had feelings for him. Just then, Anna herself appeared. The childhood friend then directly told Anna that he hoped she could find a new love and be happy. Hearing this, Anna trembled. Nukumizu couldn't stand it and stopped the childhood friend. He kept urging Anna to start a new relationship. Did he really consider Anna's long-standing feelings for him? Anyone could say those words, but they shouldn't come from the very person who had rejected Anna. The childhood friend realized his mistake, and Anna broke down, admitting she had always liked him and never moved on, but she didn't need him meddling. She told him to just live his happy life, and that her future feelings were none of his business. After saying this, she hit Nukumizu on the head in frustration, asking the childhood friend to apologize to Nukumizu, and Nukumizu to apologize to her. Both apologized and forgave each other, bringing the matter to a close. They finally welcomed the summer break. Nukumizu's current lunch buddy is Chica. Hearing that Nukumizu was called away by a handsome guy in black yesterday, Chica asked him if he had been robbed. When she learned he hadn't, she blushed and asked if anything else was taken from him, clearly influenced by too many BL comics. At that moment, Ramon and Anna joined them, and the literature club's new members gathered. They suggested doing activities together over the summer break. Chica even asked Ramon to teach her the correct running posture, and Ramon promptly dragged her to the track. Anna felt a bit sentimental, reflecting on how just a few months ago, the four of them had nothing in common, yet now they had become close friends. Anna had also fallen in love with novels. Seizing the moment, Nukumizu mustered the courage to say something to Anna. Seeing his expression, Anna thought he was about to confess his feelings and coyly said she'd listen. Almost simultaneously, one said, "Will you be my friend?" And the other said, "Sorry, I only see you as a friend," which led to a humorous misunderstanding. Realizing her mistake, Anna laughed heartily, leaving Nukumizu speechless. It felt like a rejection, even though there was no confession. From that day on, he joked about joining the ranks of the loveless. Nukumizu insisted he hadn't confessed, adding that if he were to confess, he'd need to be friends for 2 or 3 years first. Anna playfully twisted his words, suggesting he planned to propose in 3 years. However, asking to be friends was unnecessary. They were already friends. Anna then extended her fist towards Nukumizu, who bumped it with his own. Their connection would no longer need to end just because the debt was paid. Summer vacation was almost over when Nukumizu went to the bookstore to buy a long-awaited new book, titled, "May Those Who Call Me Flat-Chested Step in Dog Poop." He planned to enjoy it at home in the air-conditioned comfort. However, upon arriving home, his sister was panicking and speechless. While taking off his shoes, Nukumizu noticed a pair of women's shoes next to his. It turned out that Anna was visiting and had already helped herself to the curry his sister made. Her third serving, not her second. Anna had come to deliver plain noodles. Her father's paycheck this month was in the form of noodles, leaving their family with 300,000 yen worth of noodles they couldn't possibly finish. They had to distribute them among friends. After finishing the curry, Anna started eating pears, never stopping to talk. Meanwhile, his sister had turned on a tape recorder and notebook, starting to inquire about Anna's family background and even birth date, planning to arrange a meeting between the two families. At that moment, Nukumizu and Anna both received a message from the club president to attend a meeting at school. Upon arriving at school, Nukumizu tasted the tap water to see if it was different during the summer. He unexpectedly ran into Chica, a senior from the student council, looking disheveled and sitting there. She said she wanted a drink but was too exhausted to get one herself. Nukumizu bought her a bottle, but she insisted that he feed her the drink. She even pulled him down to her level. Nukumizu complied, and the excess water dripped from her mouth down her chin and further south, some spilling onto her thigh. Nukumizu knelt, holding the bottle, shocking passers-by and further damaging his reputation. After drinking, Chica regained her strength, confirmed the president and vice president were together, and left. When Nukumizu reached the literature club's room, it was filled with plain noodles. The president told them that the student council required all clubs to report their summer activities, so he planned to print the online novels they had written into books, like the one Tsukinoki was holding, titled, "Is it sadder for you to be alone in bed or for me to sleep alone?" Anna was very proactive, announcing she would write a sequel to the piece she started during the camp. Chica mentioned starting a new work. Nukumizu planned to revise and post the first chapter of his online novel, Amateur on First Love Street. After discussing their main topics, Tsukinoki asked if anyone could help organize books in the library. Nukumizu stayed behind because Anna was going to a junior high reunion attended by her childhood friend and his girlfriend. Nukumizu was concerned about her possibly causing trouble there. Anna assured him not to worry, claiming she had changed after absorbing motivational talks and was on the verge of enlightenment. After seeing Anna off, Nukumizu ran into Mitsuki, who made a point of waving at him. Nukumizu noticed the bracelet on his wrist, which Mitsuki proudly displayed, saying it was a gift from his girlfriend Chihaya, who insisted he wear it all the time. Speechless, Nukumizu internally commented on this while organizing books. He asked Chica about her new work. She showed him her submission on a website already ranked 8th, with her score increasing each time the page refreshed. Chica was quite pleased with herself. Suddenly, she received a message from Ramon. The two had been in frequent online contact, and Chica occasionally joined Ramon for runs, though she didn't really want to. Chica was the type who couldn't say no when someone approached her with enthusiasm. Nukumizu, intrigued, commented on her personality being fitting for adult manga plots and encouraged her to share more, jokingly calling her a fan of girls' love stories. However, he offered to talk to Ramon if she truly didn't want to run. Chica quickly said it wasn't that bad, especially since Ramon would adjust to her pace and even carry her if she got tired. Nukumizu teasingly suggested they should just get together. Chica thought so too, and asked Nukumizu if Ramon had any brothers. Enthusiastic as always, Nukumizu agreed to ask. However, when he opened the door, he bumped into Ramon changing clothes. Ramon was annoyed by his reaction, not realizing he had been fully seen. They barely spoke before Ramon received a message and left quickly. Back home, Nukumizu's sister pressed him about his relationship with Anna, eager to meet the beautiful older sister again. Just after mentioning her, Anna messaged Nukumizu to invite him for afternoon tea. His sister was thrilled, declaring it must be a date. Nukumizu denied it verbally, though he thought the same. On the tram, his expression sharpened. As expected, Anna complained about the reunion, unable to accept seeing her crush with his girlfriend, acting like an old married couple. Her loud complaints scared the waitress. Today, Anna only ordered an ice cream soda, sparing Nukumizu's wallet, jokingly blaming it on eating too plain recently and gaining weight. As Anna argued and picked photos, she noticed one that accidentally captured Nukumizu's hand. She thought posting it on social media might distract her childhood friend. Before she could take the photo, she saw Mitsuki with Ramon across the cafe. Nukumizu and she quickly ducked to avoid being seen. Wondering if Mitsuki was cheating, they chased after them, but the pair had disappeared. Nukumizu didn't dwell on it and was about to leave when he felt someone watching. It was Mitsuki's girlfriend, Chihaya, clearly dressed to catch a cheater. She asked if they had seen Mitsuki and Ramon. Nukumizu denied it, but Chihaya saw through the lie and suggested they talk elsewhere. So they went to Nukumizu's room, where a large tapestry poster was hanging. It depicted two scantily clad magical girls clinging tightly to each other. Nukumizu indeed had such tastes. Thankfully, his sister helped explain, preventing further damage to his reputation. The three finally got down to business. Chihaya immediately expressed her suspicion that Mitsuki was cheating and hoped Nukumizu and Anna could help her. She knew Ramon, Mitsuki's childhood friend, liked Mitsuki and wasn't trying to force anything. She just wanted Mitsuki to be happy. She even thought that Mitsuki and Ramon seemed more compatible. If Mitsuki truly liked Ramon, she was willing to step aside. Outside, the sister looked lonely, feeling her brother growing distant. The girl next to her patted her head, suggesting she could be her wife. Anna, hearing Chihaya's story, surprisingly agreed to help the cheater, but it was also to protect Ramon. After all, if something happened, only their circle of friends could protect or reprimand her. Nukumizu and Anna accompanied Chihaya to the mall to find Mitsuki and Ramon, located via GPS. As they talked, Mitsuki arrived and bought an ice cream for Ramon. They seemed to enjoy each other's company, which upset Chihaya, and she ran off. Nukumizu quickly followed her. Chihaya's initial attraction to Mitsuki was because they shared the same dream of working with books. Knowing Mitsuki didn't like sweets, she never invited him for desserts, envying Ramon's ability to express his feelings openly while she worried about bothering Mitsuki. Nukumizu reassured her that Mitsuki wouldn't be upset over such a small matter, changing her perception of him. Just as he finished speaking, Mitsuki walked in. Instinctively, Chihaya pulled Nukumizu into a changing room to hide and peeked out to observe. However, Mitsuki discovered them, lifted the curtain, and was puzzled to see them together. Chihaya immediately pointed at Nukumizu, indicating he would explain the situation, while the letters on Nukumizu's chest explained everything. Nukumizu and Chihaya, who came to catch a cheater, ended up being caught by Mitsuki. Mitsuki took Nukumizu aside, ready to face the truth, and urged him to just speak openly. However, Nukumizu turned the tables, asking Mitsuki to confess why he was with Ramon. Blushing, Mitsuki admitted he was seeking advice on romance from Ramon, as it was his first relationship, and he was anxious not to upset his girlfriend. He thought Ramon, being popular, would understand girls well. Nukumizu, speechless, lied that he was merely consulting Chihaya about love matters. Mitsuki, realizing this, thought Nukumizu liked a girl from the literature club, possibly Ramon, and promised to help. He saw this as an opportunity to overcome his reputation for being oblivious, and suggested Nukumizu invite the girl out for a group outing. Nukumizu brought Anna along, who dressed up excitedly for the outing with younger people. Surprisingly, their group date was at an underground resource museum, a place Anna felt was more appealing to boys. She felt out of place until she saw the excited Chihaya and Ramon, but soon mingled with the youngsters. Ramon, not wanting to be a third wheel to Mitsuki and Chihaya, stayed close to Nukumizu and reassured him not to worry about her, as she was now as open as Anna, and decided to support the couple wholeheartedly. Nukumizu felt a bit sorry for Ramon, who appeared carefree but was composed during such times. Fortunately, everyone enjoyed their time at the museum, and Nukumizu, Mitsuki, and Anna tactfully gave Mitsuki and Chihaya some space. They then planned to visit the planetarium, which included a puzzle-solving segment. Chihaya suggested they split into teams for a competition, aiming to give Nukumizu and Anna some alone time. Mitsuki tried to pull Ramon into his team with Chihaya, but Ramon refused, not wanting to be a third wheel. As Mitsuki started to explain, Ramon advised him to stay close to Chihaya, who instinctively grabbed his arm. Ramon noticed and felt hurt, but pretended not to care, reminding Mitsuki that Chihaya was his girlfriend and should be his priority. Mitsuki quickly agreed. While hitting him, Ramon blurted out her true feelings unintentionally. "You are the man I like, so act like it." Nukumizu agreed internally, but was shocked when he realized what had been said. Mitsuki was equally stunned, as this was the first time Ramon had admitted her feelings for him in his presence. Caught off guard, Ramon didn't know how to react and turned to run away. Mitsuki tried to follow, but Chihaya held him tightly, reminding him, "I'm your girlfriend." So Nukumizu had to step in, even though he knew it wasn't the time for a side character to take the lead. But since there was no main character to chase after her, it was up to him. Nukumizu found Ramon at the bus stop, preparing to take the bus home. Unsure of what to say, he just sat with her and tried to make conversation by asking how her club's newsletter was going. Somewhat speechless, Ramon replied that it wasn't the time for jokes, but answered his question anyway. She planned to write a fairy tale about a girl who loved to run and a boy who loved to read. They grew closer as the boy shared many stories from books. Eventually, the boy revealed he was a prince who had to go to a castle, and the girl wanted to go with him. However, she didn't know the proper etiquette or the social dances, so the prince helped her practice, and they went to the castle together. A happy ending, very different from reality. After that day, Nukumizu lost contact with Ramon. That night, he was called out by Chihaya, who felt guilty about holding on to Mitsuki earlier. She had previously told Nukumizu she was willing to step back, but admitted it was just talk. Now, she was determined. If Mitsuki truly liked Ramon, she would break up with him. Nukumizu immediately disagreed, saying that would truly hurt Ramon. After comforting Chihaya, Nukumizu said he would handle it. Unexpectedly, on his way back, He received a call from Tsuki, who had heard about Remon's situation and knew she was at her grandmother's house. So she suggested they all go together to bring their junior back the next day. Apart from Nukumizu, Anna and Chica were also invited. Even at this time, Anna was still thinking about food, giving a long speech and concluding that humans are slaves to carbohydrates and sugars, and she was entering a period of re-evaluating her relationship with sugar. Nukumizu focused on the key point. She was just upset about gaining weight from eating too much pasta. Anna immediately denied this, boasting that she was back to her beautiful figure for the 15th time in a year. As for Tsuki and Chica, these two fujoshi were actually discussing who was the top and who was the bottom between plum sauce and venison curry, once again creating a rift between them. Nukumizu couldn't grasp the technical terms they used, so they enthusiastically explained to him that top and bottom referred to the dominant and submissive roles. Although Nukumizu seemed uninterested, he had to remind them it was time to leave as they got more excited. It turned out to be Tsuki leading the road trip. On the way, Nukumizu felt they were heading deeper into the mountains. Tsuki reassured him they were following the GPS, but they ended up in a cave, clearly lost. Tsuki had to call and confirm the address again, finally finding the way to Remon's grandmother's house. The route was scenic, with mountains and water, which surely made Anna, who had dressed up, want to take photos. However, before Nukumizu could take her picture, Chica was distracted by a crab she found, frustrating Anna, who started scolding them from the other side. Yet, the attraction of the crab was too great. Nevertheless, Nukumizu managed to film Anna just as Remon suddenly appeared in the frame, signaling him not to tell Anna and then sneaking up to scare her. Both ended up falling into the water. Back at Remon's grandmother's house, the two went to take a bath first. Surprisingly, the place was a large villa bought by Remon's grandmother when she was a university professor. Meanwhile, Nukumizu and the others were downstairs discussing what to do. Remon seemed too spirited, not at all like someone who had been heartbroken, although they all knew she was just putting on a brave face. Tsuki told Nukumizu to just go with the flow and keep her company for now, then put Chica in the massage chair. Remon was aware that they had come specifically to see her and expressed her gratitude to Nukumizu and the others. When her grandmother returned and saw her granddaughter had brought so many friends over, she happily hosted them and even ordered sushi online. Anna's eyes lit up immediately. She covered Nukumizu's mouth as he tried to decline, indicating they would eat anything. During the meal, Anna enjoyed herself the most. Chica was a bit averse to salmon roe, so Remon thoughtfully served her sea urchin and abalone. After a hearty meal, Nukumizu helped take the plates to the kitchen and asked the grandmother if she felt lonely living deep in the mountains. She replied that with the internet, nothing was inconvenient and Remon would bring guests like this. Remon then took the opportunity to invite them to stay the night. Nukumizu initially wanted to refuse, but noticed that Tsuki and the others had brought large and small bags, looking as though they had prepared for an overnight stay. Everyone gave Nukumizu a thumbs up, and he had no choice but to reluctantly join in. Thus began their shared living experience with the beautiful girls. Tsuki and Chica, rivals in love, actually did that in bed. Anna, unable to sleep, went to the living room and encountered Nukumizu, who had come to taste the countryside's tap water at midnight. They sat down and had a chat. Nukumizu learned that Remon also couldn't sleep and had just gone out for a run. Anna didn't know what to say to Remon. In fact, she couldn't take sides in the matter. Although friends with Remon, she understood the insecurity Chihaya felt at the beginning of their relationship. However, she believed Chihaya should talk things out with Mitsuki rather than testing their feelings with ambiguous attitudes. Nukumizu disagreed, feeling Mitsuki was also at fault. Even without ill intentions, being so close to a childhood friend would naturally make any girlfriend overthink. Anna wanted to argue more but was interrupted by Nukumizu, who didn't want to argue over this and reminded her that they were both outsiders. Moreover, Nukumizu didn't want Anna to speak ill of others behind their backs. Grateful for Nukumizu's thoughtfulness, Anna concluded that all three of them were fools. Still, as Remon's friend, if she were to talk about it, she would suggest, "Why don't you date him then?" Since Chihaya had already agreed to step back. But she knew Remon would never accept that, so Anna remained silent. Nukumizu decided to take a walk too, as the moon was beautiful that night. Anna told him where Remon would be, and indeed he found her at the shrine, not knowing if the droplets flying from the running girl were tears or sweat. This scene touched Nukumizu, and Remon finally opened up. She never intended to interfere with Mitsuki and Chihaya's relationship. Yet, even staying as a friend was difficult. She watched her crush struggle for Chihaya, feeling heartbroken, yet listening to his troubles as a friend. Naively, Ramon thought this would help her face reality, but people are never satisfied. She began to hope that Mitsuki would see her charming side. Every time she thought of meeting him, her heart filled with anticipation, even wishing it could continue forever. Finally, a bad thought crossed her mind. It would be great if they could break up. By this point, Ramon was crying uncontrollably. Mitsuki trusted her so much, yet she wished he would break up with Chihaya. Ramon felt ashamed of herself, and Nukumizu did not judge her much, simply acting as a quiet listener. The next day, they were about to leave the country villa. Nukumizu was still wearing Ramon's t-shirt, which was originally intended for Anna, but it didn't fit her. Meanwhile, Tsukinoki came up to Nukumizu and started being playful, while Chica silently watched them. Amidst the noise, everything was packed up. Grandma remarked, "Ramon has made some good friends." Nukumizu thought she was referring to Tsukinoki and the girls, not realizing she meant him. After last night's events, Ramon decided to have a serious talk with Mitsuki and Chihaya. Unexpectedly, she ran into Chihaya at the station, their first private meeting. Chihaya opened the conversation, wanting to better understand Ramon, who felt the same. Just as the bus arrived, Chihaya suddenly went back and threw the GPS into a trash can, deciding never to use it again. Back home, Nukumizu met Ramon at the bookstore, learning that she was about to meet Mitsuki. She wasn't dressed as cutely as before because she didn't need to anymore. Nukumizu then drove Ramon to school, where it was completely dark. Mitsuki was already waiting there, at the place where they first met as children. Later, Ramon clung to Mitsuki, always asking him to tell her stories, and he enjoyed it. They continued this way year after year until 8th grade, when Ramon expressed her desire to attend a prestigious high school. Everyone thought she was daydreaming since her grades were not good, but Mitsuki didn't mock her. Ramon had told him that her family consisted of scholars and lawyers, and she was the only one who wasn't academically inclined. She was very conscious of this, but there was another reason. She wanted to go to the same school as Mitsuki. It was now Mitsuki's turn to be honest, and he felt the same as Ramon at that time. At that time, he was completely unaware of his own feelings, only noticing that Ramon was becoming increasingly dazzling. Surrounded by many friends, she seemed to be drifting further away from him. Eventually, Ramon became certain that Mitsuki had liked her too. Mitsuki did not deny it, but unfortunately, he had been completely clueless about such matters before. It was only after dating Chihaya that he realized what it felt like to like someone and be liked in return. Even though they could no longer be together, Ramon felt sufficiently happy. They opened up to each other, and Ramon could calmly ask Mitsuki what he liked about Chihaya. Mitsuki shared that he wanted to work with books in the future, go to a university in Tokyo, and spend 4 years improving himself, which Chihaya also wanted. At that moment, Ramon clearly recognized that they were not from the same world, but at least for now, she and Mitsuki were looking at the same night sky. Outside the school, Nukumizu, bored, started browsing various cat photos, preparing an excuse about a cat entering the school if discovered. Just then, he bumped into Mitsuki. Mitsuki mentioned that Ramon wanted some time to calm down after their lengthy conversation. Mitsuki also found out that Nukumizu's declaration of liking Anna was a spur-of-the-moment lie, impressed by the rare depth of friendship. Nukumizu didn't consider himself and Ramon friends, but Mitsuki pointed out that they had naturally become friends too, which made Nukumizu realize, are we friends? That's quite hurtful. Just then, Ramon returned, and Mitsuki asked Nukumizu to drive her home. However, highly emotionally intelligent, Nukumizu took the initiative to ask Mitsuki to take Ramon home instead, claiming he had other matters to attend to, and then he left. Naturally, Mitsuki agreed. On their way back, Ramon formally told Mitsuki, "I like you," wanting to be willful for the first and last time, quietly reaching out and hooking her little finger around his. Mitsuki did not refuse. The school year began in a flash. Early in the morning, the younger sister rushed out to see her brother off. On his way, Nukumizu encountered Chihaya, and knowing they had already talked things through, he jokingly asked if she had also installed a GPS on Ramon. Chihaya deftly changed the subject. At that moment, Ramon and Mitsuki arrived. It was surprising how close Ramon and Chihaya had become, especially since Ramon had shared all of Mitsuki's embarrassing past with Chihaya. It's tricky when your girlfriend becomes friends with your childhood friend. Meanwhile, Nukumizu still met with Anna at the same staircase at noon. Anna was venting again about the photos she had posted on social media. Now her friends thought she had a boyfriend and insisted she bring him to the next gathering. With no other choice, Anna decided she'd have to find someone to pretend. A secret hope flickered in Nukumizu's heart, ready to offer help. But then Anna asked, "Can I borrow Mitsuki for a bit?" Citing Mitsuki's good looks and academic prowess, she remarked he'd be perfect for playing the role of a boyfriend. Nukumizu couldn't help but smile in relief and suggested, "You should find a real boyfriend instead." Zombies appeared at Nukumizu's school. Nukumizu was trying the water from a new tap when Chica suddenly pulled him away. As soon as they opened the door to the literature club room, a shaky humanoid creature walked out, which scared them into closing the door immediately. However, Chica got pulled inside. A scream was heard a second later. It turned out to be Senior Shikia trying on a festival costume. She then pulled out an incomplete application form for the literature club from her bosom. She was about to inform Chica, but Chica ran away since she's socially anxious. Moreover, the president and vice president are graduating, and most of the club's festival activities are now Chica's responsibility because the president wants her to succeed him. Nukumizu is set to succeed Tsukinoki, assisting Chica. Nukumizu didn't refuse, showing the seniors' concern for Chica. Tsukinoki even considered repeating a year to help Chica gain confidence by stepping back during the festival. Tsukinoki kept giving Nukumizu various instructions, making it seem like she was talking about her partner. That night, Nukumizu struggled with how to write the application form, while his sister joyfully shared her chat with Anna, using Nukumizu's account to play matchmaker. She even arranged a meeting between Nukumizu and Anna at the stairway the next noon. When they met, Anna complained about her childhood friend and rival since their class needed uniform costumes for their act. Karen started undressing right there, prompting the coordinator to expel people. The childhood friend commented, "Sorry, I'm just too used to this," suggesting their usual intimacy. To comfort Anna, Nukumizu reluctantly shared the lunch his sister had prepared for him. Anna did not hesitate to accept, and during this, Nukumizu asked if she had any ideas for the literature club's activities. Hearing how hard Chica was working to make it a success, Anna remarked, "That's girls for you." After this event, the president and senior Tsukinoki will step down. Even if they aren't in love, they at least want to give their crushes a grand send-off. Of course, they will also support Chica well. They have thought of many event plans, such as selling meals. Nukumizu is not surprised at all. But what does selling food have to do with their literature club? Anna forcefully argues that they could just theme the literature club's presentation around food. So, the trio went out to gather materials over the weekend. Chica feels like a third wheel, thinking Nukumizu and Anna are dating. Nukumizu immediately denies it and wonders why Chica would think that. It turns out it's because they spend a lot of time together. Nukumizu describes Anna as an otter, a cute creature that can eat more than 20% of its body weight in food daily. Cute and a big eater, but that doesn't mean you'd fall in love with an otter, right? He implies that to him, Anna is just like an otter. Next, they enter a dessert shop. Chica, short on money, doesn't buy anything. Nukumizu shares his portion with her, which annoys Anna, accusing him of having double standards. The next day, Nukumizu and Chica organize the discussion results into a booklet. They intentionally did not include Anna in the discussions. Although they can't say this outright, Nukumizu tells Anna he has another task for her, something only she can handle. She gets excited when Nukumizu suggests she be a consulting advisor. Their final theme is food and literature, highlighting writers' favorite foods or foods mentioned in books. This might involve publishing old recipes or photos of recreated dishes. When Anna hears it's only photos and not real dishes, she panics and starts arguing seriously. She hopes they can sell beef pots at the event. Eventually, they compromise and choose to bake pastries, even borrowing the cooking club's classroom. Surprisingly, Chica turns out to be quite good at making pastries. After resolving the food issue, the next concern was how to link it with the exhibition theme. Suddenly, Chica looked out the window and sensed Ramon's presence. The next second, Ramon really showed up and started fussing over Chica, feeling guilty for not being able to help. Then Anna brought up a serious issue. Their literature club still lacked an advisor, as the previous one had resigned for some reasons. Without a teacher, they couldn't apply for club activities, so Tsukinoki asked Anna to find one. They wanted someone familiar, so Nukumizu and Ramon went straight to their homeroom teacher. Upon hearing they needed to discuss something, the homeroom teacher immediately directed them to the health teacher. Knowing her interests well, Nukumizu and Ramon quickly explained they wanted her to be the advisor for the literature club. The homeroom teacher was interested, but was already the advisor for the table tennis club. However, she offered to help them find another teacher. Over the weekend, Nukumizu and his sister went to a roadside rest area, which had many dessert and food stands. He wanted to find inspiration, like the fact that Natsume Soseki was known to enjoy peanuts, both shelled and sugar-coated. Nukumizu found this too complicated, but his sister took on the challenge. Later that evening, Nukumizu shared this with Chica, who then took over the research and display preparation. After a few busy days, they held another discussion meeting. They formally decided on gastronomy in literature as the theme, introducing foods related to famous writers and books, accompanied by related pastries with simple explanations, either for sale or for free distribution to children. The display was divided into 4 sections, each with a stamp station. Chica was in charge of research and display. Nukumizu handled the pastries and venue setup. Now, all that was left was to secure an advisor. Just as they finished discussing this, the health teacher appeared, giving Nukumizu an uneasy feeling, but they had no other teachers available at the moment. In the following days, everyone was busy with their own tasks. During a class break, Nukumizu couldn't help guessing where Chica might go to drink tap water, and he guessed right. However, Chica kept the faucet running without drinking. Nukumizu approached her to break her daydream and handed her a classroom borrowing form to sign. He noticed Chica looked pale and told her not to stress too much and just do her best. At that moment, a group of students walked by. The shy Chica instinctively grabbed Nukumizu's arm. Thoughtful Nukumizu didn't leave right away but stayed with her, even at the risk of being late. Later, Nukumizu took the revised form to the student council office, where there was only one council member present, who was rather haughty. However, her demeanor changed to one of admiration when the president walked in. Nukumizu was also impressed by the president's presence. Hearing that he was from the literature department to submit a form, the president informed Nukumizu that their application had been accepted. Then, pinching Nukumizu's chin, she mentioned that she would soon retire as a senior and that, although she had turned a blind eye to many things in the presence of Chica, there would be no next time. Nukumizu's school festival is just around the corner, and almost all the students are busy. Many will be in costume. Nukumizu encountered Karen at the staircase, who fell while carrying a lot of items. He only saw something bounce twice before Karen ended up pinning him down, a scene he had just read about in a light novel. Since they knew each other, Nukumizu helped Karen with her items. Many people stopped to watch them, making Nukumizu increasingly uncomfortable, so he tried to distance himself. However, Karen quickly caught up, insisting on walking together. She mentioned hearing about him often from her boyfriend and Anna, which made her feel close to him. Nukumizu pointed out he wasn't close enough to her boyfriend to be considered friends, but Karen, ever so forward, suggested they all become friends. Nukumizu felt overwhelmed by Karen's dazzling presence, even making Anna seem less impressive by comparison. Just then, he saw Anna enjoying a big meal. With only 5 days left until the festival, Chica, the next club president, was very busy. Today, Nukumizu brought her his sister's prototype literary-themed snacks, starting with Natsume Soseki's favorite sugar-coated peanuts, which amazed Chica. Next was Dazai's cherry pound cake, inspired by his work, Cherry. Chica also tried 2 bags of snacks inspired by a picture book, identical to those in the book itself. She praised Nukumizu's sister for her talent, and Nukumizu was proud since he had found the containers. Chica then packed a bag of books to leave. These were borrowed from an external library since the school's copier was cheaper. Nukumizu accompanied her to the library, offering to help with her tasks, but Chica declined. At the library, they unexpectedly saw the club president and vice president holding hands. Chica immediately crouched to hide, looking very upset. Afterwards, they each ordered a coffee. Chica told Nukumizu not to worry about her since it was normal for a couple to hold hands, especially since they were inseparable at school. However, encountering them outside school felt different, as if they were in a world unknown to her. Chica had once been part of that world during her freshman year. She has no friends in her class, so the club president and vice president often keep her company, making school enjoyable for the first time. But now things are back to how they were before. Sometimes she wonders if not confessing her feelings earlier could have prolonged their friendship. After the festival ends, the seniors will leave the club, so she must prove she can handle things on her own. Meanwhile, Nukumizu is busy with class preparations. After finishing with a pumpkin, he saw Karen in a devil costume, attracting a lot of attention from the boys. They mistook her for a seductress rather than a devil. Then Ramon, dressed as a mummy and wearing nothing under the bandages for realism, was quickly surrounded by girls who took her away for a stern talk. Anna, dressed as a ghost, looked quite cute until a handsome guy called her away, giving Nukumizu a menacing look. With only 2 days left until the school festival, the president was checking their projects when Tsukinoki, a senior, ran over saying there was a big problem. Chica had fainted from exhaustion and was taken to the infirmary. The nurse said it was just sleep deprivation and reminded them that young people often push their limits, recalling her own past. Nukumizu quickly changed the subject, and the nurse took Chica home, where he stayed by her side. When Chica woke up and saw Nukumizu, she was shocked and realized she was in pajamas, which the nurse had helped her change into. Just then, the nurse brought in Chica's younger siblings. Her sister stared at Nukumizu and pointed to her hair, saying it was like her sister's, charming Nukumizu instantly. The nurse told them to take it easy and close the door after ensuring the siblings were her responsibility. Nukumizu wanted Chica to delegate her tasks to him, but Chica preferred to finish the presentation herself. However, she agreed to let others handle everything else related to the project. She promised Nukumizu she would take a day off to rest properly. At 5 a.m. the next day, Nukumizu checked his phone upon waking and discovered that Chica had submitted the presentation at 3 a.m. Now, it was his turn to take over. He arrived at the empty school before dawn, tasted the tap water, and was about to start moving tables when he heard Ramon's voice questioning why he was doing the physical work alone, as they had agreed she would handle it. Surprised by her early arrival, Nukumizu learned that Anna had summoned everyone after finding out he planned to work alone. This included non-literary club members Mitsuki and Chihaya. On their way, Chihaya had already read Chica's presentation and designed the layout. The club president was relieved and urged everyone to get to work. Nukumizu, Mitsuki, and Chihaya took charge of the presentation, while Tsukinoki helped Nukumizu with the venue setup. Anna and Ramon helped during breaks from preparing the class activity. Everyone put their hands together, waiting for Nukumizu to join them. He was not used to such gestures, but joined in anyway. The whole group worked together to prepare for the school festival. Even Nukumizu's sister visited to see how he was doing and brought them food. When she left, Nukumizu thoughtfully put his jacket on her. She clung to his arm, acting affectionately. By evening, everything was ready. Nukumizu sent Chica a photo of the preparations, reassuring her. When only Nukumizu was left in the evening, Anna, who had finished her tasks, returned. She had expected a cute story from the title of the Dazai Osamu research presentation themed on cherry, thinking it was about the fruit. However, she lost interest when Nukumizu mentioned the story began with the protagonist abandoning his family for a tavern with women. Lying on the tatami mat, she relaxed and then shared some of her food with Nukumizu. Nukumizu was greatly shocked, as if his gluttonous fat cat had decided to share a can of food with him. Beyond surprise, there was also a touch of emotion. He reflected on how recently they had no clear ideas, yet the final product turned out to be so perfect and rich. Anna even remarked that it was Chica's love letter. However, Nukumizu believed that the presentation also contained Chica's memories and gratitude, as well as her resolve as the club president. Even Anna, understanding Chica's feelings, knew how much Chica valued her seniors and the literature club, and that she was willing to give up something so important. With this resolve, she had confessed her feelings that evening, so even if she had moved on emotionally, the intense feelings wouldn't just disappear. The emotions she couldn't voice were expressed through her writing, much like Ramon running with all her might. Ultimately, through this exhibition, Chica had fully voiced her heart, forcing herself to set boundaries and ready to fall in love again. Nukumizu was surprised. Chica had someone new she liked? Thus, their conversation shifted back to romance. Nukumizu was particularly curious about the handsome man who had called Anna away that day. The two started to flirt again. Anna polished off her little cake, licking her fingers clean. Suddenly, Nukumizu leaned in, shushed her with a finger to his lips, and called her name. Anna thought he was about to confess his feelings to her, but the next second, Nukumizu mentioned that the health teacher was recording, so they should stop saying weird things. They looked over and saw the health teacher's camera pointed right at them. Chica has just recovered from a serious illness. Surprisingly, her senior Tsukinoki personally came to pick her up for school and even played their favorite BL radio drama in the car, which was filled with heart-wrenching screams. Today, the school felt like a Halloween celebration, with even the student council members dressing up in various costumes. Upon entering the student council office, Nukumizu saw senior Shikia getting handsy with a tsundere junior, almost making him think he entered the wrong room. The tsundere junior, reminded by her senior, embarrassingly added a meow at the end of her sentence. Nukumizu was not only ungrateful, but also criticized what they were showing him. When he got back, he found Chica had already arrived and was very pleased with the venue, blushing as she thanked Nukumizu. He modestly credited everyone else, though he hinted that Chica could praise him if she wished. In the morning, since everyone else was busy, only the two of them manned the literature club. Many outsiders were expected at this campus festival. As the student council president's speech ended on the radio, the festival officially started. Their club's picture books and snacks were indeed popular with children. Unexpectedly, the student council president visited and acknowledged their good exhibit, but reminded them of past troubles caused by the literature club, warning that another issue could lead to their club being provisionally disbanded, which could become permanent after 3 such warnings. This seemed entirely dependent on the president's mood, leaving Nukumizu unable to comment. At that moment, the cat-eared junior called over the president, showing surprise and disdain upon seeing Nukumizu, but immediately switching to an admiring expression when facing the president, asking when he would change his outfit. However, the president had no such plans. While buying water, Nukumizu stood by a window watching performances from other classes and clubs below, only to spot Karen and Anna flaunting their relationship. He couldn't understand why people would show off their love in such a public setting. Later, Nukumizu found Chica looking pale. The school nurse and homeroom teacher had come to visit. Thinking of the nurse's prying, he deeply sympathized with Chica. The homeroom teacher came over chewing peanuts, and upon learning that the snacks were made by Nukumizu's sister, asked if she came with her brother. Not Nukumizu, but preferably a brother around 30 with a stable job. Nukumizu could only promise to keep an eye out at family gatherings. However, the school nurse was not pleased. For her best friend, she definitely wanted to try a suitable man first. Nukumizu just wanted to kick both of them out, as this was a place for children. By the afternoon, Anna finally arrived, hands full of meatballs and her clothes dirty. She wondered why the kids coming to play with her either had chocolate in their hands or snack crumbs around their mouths. It was simply a case of one glutton attracting another. With Anna's help, Nukumizu and Chica could finally take a break. They both planned to go back and read, but Anna saw right through them. She ordered them to enjoy the festival or she would burn all their books, taking another bite of her meatball, proclaiming, "I have a big stomach, no need for extra salt." Despite this, Nukumizu and Chica really didn't know what to do, and ended up each grabbing a bowl of udon to slurp on a bench. Noticing a couple sharing a chocolate bar in front of them, Nukumizu felt uncomfortable, thinking others might see him and Chica as a couple too. So he asked Chica to call him brother, which made her choke. This reassured Nukumizu, as her reaction likely meant no one would mistake them for a couple. Yet, he choked on his food too. Karma. Later, they met Chica in the shooting gallery, where Nukumizu won a big prize with one shot using bullets made by Chica. Aluminum cans stood no chance. He introduced Chica to Chica, who immediately grabbed the other Chica's hand, praising her excellent presentation and showing even more interest upon hearing she was a Fujoshi. Chica struggled desperately, shouting, "It's not me, don't come over!" After leaving the shooting gallery, it felt like she had narrowly escaped death. She found the campus festival unbearable to continue. Nukumizu went alone to the stadium to find Remon. The track team had set up some challenges, one of which was a barrier-free 100-meter race against Miss Athletic Mask, who was Remon. Unexpectedly, someone actually challenged her, a middle school classmate of Remon's, who looked strong and muscular. He even asked Remon if he could go to the movies with her if he won. Remon agreed instantly and started warming up, then thoroughly showed him who's boss, saying, "Try beating me and then ask about the movies. Come back in 100 years. Nukumizu then watched a play starring Anna and a handsome kendo club member. For some reason, Anna, a ghost, died, and the handsome guy screamed in agony while holding her, leaving Nukumizu wondering, why would a ghost die? Nukumizu's sister also came to the festival and kept looking for him with her friends, but didn't approach when she spotted him. After wandering around, Nukumizu returned to the literature club's exhibit to find the seniors had returned. The club president was grateful to Nukumizu, but he insisted that Chica had worked the hardest. By evening, they counted the snacks and publications sold. The president, moved, remarked that this was his last and best cultural festival thanks to Nukumizu and the others, getting a bit emotional. After this festival, the seniors would retire from the literature club. Nukumizu and senior Tsukinoki talked for a while, telling her about Chica's anxiety about becoming the club president, hoping the seniors could stay longer to help her. Tsukinoki said it was his duty as the next vice president, and no one else but him could stay by the kids' side. Although Nukumizu didn't feel so, Chica actually relied on him a lot. Nukumizu mentioned that Chica is reluctant to depend on others for important matters, accepting only the seniors. Realizing that the president had not returned yet, likely spending time alone with Chica, Nukumizu sensed Tsukinoki's mood and offered her a stick of candy cigarette. Tsukinoki was honest. Before Chica confessed, she already knew that Chica liked the club president but thought Chica wouldn't act on it. If Chica hadn't mustered the courage that night at the retreat, their misunderstanding wouldn't have been cleared. The outcome might have been different now. Later, Nukumizu returned to the activity room to find only Chica there. The president had already left. Chica couldn't help but pour out her feelings to Nukumizu. She was truly happy to have joined the literature club and was grateful to the seniors, but she would see the president less and less. The thought of his fading presence in her heart saddened her. Nukumizu comforted her, saying that some things fade with time. Chica felt relieved after sharing her feelings today. She hadn't confessed again, but had asked the president if he had ever liked her, if it weren't for Senior Tsukunoki. Chica only said that his response was gentle, accepting all her flaws and taking care of her despite them. Feeling fortunate to have fallen for the president, Chica felt lucky. Nukumizu actually argued with Chica. The trigger was the upcoming president's meeting. As the new president, Chica had to present an activity report at the meeting, but she was so socially anxious that she couldn't even read her prepared script. Nukumizu offered to attend in her place, but Chica refused all suggestions. Then, Anna appeared at the door with a bunch of bread and suggested that Chica could practice speaking in front of others to get used to it. However, Nukumizu didn't want Chica to force herself, to which Chica responded that forcing herself was pointless. Anna immediately supported Chica and reminded Nukumizu that the new president was practicing hard. She then came up with another idea. Chica had become president to protect the literature club, understanding Nukumizu's good intentions but recognizing that as president, she couldn't always rely on others. So, they went to the zoo. Unexpectedly, Chica was quite popular with the small animals. According to Anna, getting used to facing people starts with getting used to animals, and the zoo visit also helped Chica relax. Though the goats were perhaps too enthusiastic, burying her in their midst, her spirits lifted. Chica wanted to visit the botanical garden next. Halfway there, Anna went to buy snacks, claiming eating more often could help with weight loss. Seizing the opportunity, Chica tried practicing her speech again but still stumbled through it. Although she had improved slightly, Nukumizu still felt it wasn't good enough, and again offered to handle the report, urging Chica not to strain herself. Chica's tears welled up. Why did Nukumizu always think she was forcing herself? She had been practicing hard. Nukumizu wasn't denying her effort and knew she was enthusiastic about her role, but his comment hit a sore spot for Chica. She didn't even want to be president. The title carried too much weight, and it overwhelmed her every time she was called president, yet she was the only one who could fill the role. With that, Chica ran off, leaving Nukumizu with a troubled expression. Witnessing this, Anna asked if there was anything she could do, but Nukumizu just shook his head. The day after returning to school, Karen noticed that Nukumizu and Anna seemed troubled, and their moods appeared interconnected. While discussing this, Anna approached. Noticing Nukumizu hadn't gone to the literature club, she promptly dragged him away to a ramen shop. There, she announced she had lost 2 kilograms over the past 2 months, though she had gained 3 kilograms during the summer. Nukumizu was somewhat worried, given Anna's usual snacking, surprised she could lose weight and wondered if she was ill. However, Anna had simply been eating smaller meals more frequently. Back to the main issue, Anna learned that Nukumizu and Chica hadn't reconciled yet and advised him not to just express his own ideas, but also to encourage others to share their feelings and thoughts. She urged him to empathize with Chica's feelings and have a proper conversation with her. True to her wise but humble nature, Anna offered to help Nukumizu sort out the mess. Reflecting on himself, Nukumizu realized he had intervened half-heartedly, planning to withdraw when things didn't go smoothly. Thinking he was considering others, he instead caused hurt. His sister picked up on his depressed mood and came to take him home. She comforted him, knowing he loved her the most. When she was in kindergarten, anytime she cried, Nukumizu would rush to her. In elementary school, he wouldn't play with friends, but stayed by her side. Nukumizu inwardly remarked that was because he had no friends. His sister simply wanted to remind him that he never imposed his will on her, and he acknowledged he wanted her to remain true to herself. What then? Did he hope for Chica? Following his sister's guidance, Nukumizu finally had some thoughts on the matter. As they reached their home, his sister suddenly remarked, "The moonlight is so beautiful tonight." The next day was the club meeting. Nukumizu and Anna waited at the door for Chica. Nukumizu had brought a box of snacks as an apology, but Anna quickly took it from him. As they were about to ask Senior Shikia about Chica, she arrived. Nukumizu hurried forward to apologize, but Chica, busy with the meeting, rushed into the conference room. Her presentation unsurprisingly failed. Faced with many strangers, she couldn't speak coherently and frequently caused distractions. A junior from the student council, citing time constraints, promptly called the next club to present. While others might forget such embarrassment in a few days, Chica would likely harbor this uncomfortable memory forever. Unable to watch further, Nukumizu burst into the conference room, declared he was the literary club president, and approached Chica to take over her report. Unexpectedly, this overwhelmed Chica even more, leading her to throw a bottle at Nukumizu and run out. Nukumizu, without a word, picked up the bottle and started the activity report himself. Far from reconciling with Chica, he worsened the situation. A thoughtful Anna then shared the snacks with him, which were ironically brought by Nukumizu himself. Realizing the urgency, Nukumizu decided to find Chica and apologize. Despite everyone searching the school, they couldn't find her until the sun had set, and Nukumizu finally spotted her on the evacuation staircase. Chica confronted Nukumizu about his actions. Admitting his meddling, Nukumizu listened as Chica, unable to hold back tears, confessed her discomfort with face-to-face interactions and began typing on her phone. Since joining the literary club in April as the only freshman, she had been anxious about being left alone after the seniors graduated. Even with 4 members now, she feared they might disappear as they all had their own places to belong. So, she had to maintain this place on her own. Nukumizu finally understood Chica's true feelings, knowing her fear that everyone might someday go their separate ways. At this moment, Nukumizu's gentleness would become a double-edged sword in Chica's memories. After all, Chica and Nukumizu were different. Nukumizu had a strong core and didn't feel lonely even when alone, whereas Chica needed the companionship of friends. With this in mind, Nukumizu approached Chica and told her how much he liked her novels. He explained that without her, the literary club activities couldn't happen. Chica could keep writing, and he would assist her. He urged her not to say she was alone anymore. Just as Chica was about to respond to Nukumizu, Ramon suddenly burst in. Mistaking his intentions and thinking he was bullying Chica, Chica quickly clarified the situation, and they realized they had been communicating through a group chat. Ramon hugged Chica and assured her that she would never be alone and that they would remain friends. Having cleared up the misunderstanding, Anna felt relieved. Even if they might drift apart one day, at least for now, they had the company of friends and didn't have to feel lonely. After this incident, Nukumizu also took over as the new president of the club, ready to assume the responsibilities from today.